Hey there viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. We're back on the 2007 Nissan. It's the Frontier, the Nissan O with the 4.0. It's the one we previously looked at, Used Car Guy Special. Had the relay that had the piece sticking out of the side. It was making it stay connected. It killing the battery overnight and making it do funny things like leave the lights on, humming noise coming out of the transmission, so on and so forth. That's done. Still needs a sticker. Still has the engine light on, so I took and sat here for a while and then drove it around, started fine, it was great, battery wasn't dead, had to drive it around to get the drive cycle to work through again so we could get those two codes we had. We had a code for the fuel levels sensor and then something to do with the EVAP canister vent valve being shorted, so we're going to chase those down, see if we get those fixed for them, and then ship this baby down the road. I've got it set up on the lift here because I assume we're going to have to go underneath this little guy. So I did that. Being that we're going to go back and deal with the canister vent valve, I'm going to take the power probe with us. I don't know what kind of bi-directional controls we've got with Nissan as far as being able to command it on and off and stuff. So we want to be prepared. Prepare ye the way. So I'll get this hooked up after I get rid of my giant knot I just put in it. Enhance. Enhance, unenhance. She's all done scanning. We've got just the two codes there in the ECM. Everything else is green. I got to remind myself of what they were. So 463 is our fuel level sensor, and then this is just a first trip or a pending code, the vent valve. So that's what we're going to look at first. We will go to our control unit, then the engine, and we'll see what kind of bi-directional control we have for this canister vent valve. And I got our little pick ready so we can go find it and unplug it. We'll go active test vent control valve. That probably sounds like the ticket. I don't think we need any data, do we? Intake valve, I don't know. Unless we got a PID that tells us that we're actually doing what we're doing. We'll skip it. We don't need any data. I don't hear any clicking underneath the car behind me. Oh, you know what? I think I do actually. Yeah, I'll be jiggered, I do. So there's the canister vent valve up here, so I believe it should be this little fella right here. Let's turn it on and wait for this car to go by. It's off. Well, be dipped. It definitely seems to be clicking here. Faux show. Let's back out of here. Let's get that code number again. I thought it was a circuit code. Was it 448? Got to look in service data. 448. Maybe, I think in generic OBD2 I thought that showed up as a circuit code, so I figured we're just kind of an open circuit, but perhaps in OE it may be a performance, because I see she's not really looking like she's a performer, folks. It's pretty crusty. It may be leaking, so maybe a canister vent valve performance code. Let's look up in service data. So here it is, folks. Here's what we're looking for. So the 448 EVAP canister vent control valve closed, and this is the key right here, detecting condition for the DTC. EVAP canister vent control valve remains closed under specific driving conditions. Possible causes: canister vent valve, pressure sensor, blocked hose to the vent valve, drain filter, blah blah blah. So long story short, it's commanding the vent valve closed. It does its little EVAP thing. It pulls vacuum and then it opens it and it expects to see vacuum decay, or it knows it's open but it's seeing all of a sudden this thing's building pressure, building vacuum, and it says that the vent valve must be at fault, so therefore it sets a code for it. Which may or may not be true. The vent valve could be blocked, or the canister itself could be plugged, or the pressure sensor could be off, so on and so forth, or purge solenoid could be stuck wide open, pulling it into a vacuum. but that's what we got to look at. I also noticed when I was looking on service data that Nissan has TSB or service bulletin, which simply states to replace everything. To replace the canister, the filler neck, the vent valve, the pressure sensor, and everything. All the hoses going up to it, and they had this big long list of all the parts that you can buy from Nissan. Replace everything. We're obviously going to skip that. It's an old vehicle. It's got a lot of miles on it. It's a used car guy. And we're going to see what's really wrong with it, which individual component hopefully we can replace, and then take it from there. So I think the next best step here that we can do is we'll hook up the Avoca smoker. We'll give us some visual aid here as far as what's happening. Is our valve sealing, and indeed is it releasing? And if it is releasing, how quickly? I think this would be the easiest thing to do. Or at least something to do. You got to do something. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put this little guy on. The test port, conveniently, is right here, which is great. Hook that up, I'll get an air hose, and we'll fill her full of smoke. I went back and just popped the gas cap off before we start to make sure it's at atmospheric pressure. I'm not super familiar with Nissan to know whether or not if 3.9 volts is atmospheric pressure. It appears, at least in our case, it is. I guess we'll see. It's always something we can look up if stuff doesn't seem strange to us. So now we will take, I'm going to leave the canister vent valve off or open, so the back door is open. So we'll turn on the Avoca smoker. I just click that baby on. We should see a little increase in pressure, but it should be blowing right through the canister and right out the back of the truck right now. Just kind of curious to see where this ends. And then technically, if I reach up and turn the Avoca smoker off, it should drop back to 3.9 volts, which I'm going to shut off right now. It is off. Oh boy. Houston, I think we have a problem. I'm going to turn the Avoca smoker back on, and then we're going to close the back door. And now it should build pressure relatively rapidly, at least what we can see. I don't know how high it goes. I don't know if it goes to probably 4.5. Something like that. So we'll let that build up for a while. We'll make sure the system can seal. But as slowly as that decayed when I shut the smoker off, I'm thinking we probably do have a restriction of some sort. I'm just going to shut the smoker off and see if it can maintain pressure. So right now, with the back door closed and the front door closed, it should hold pressure. The smoke machine is turned off. And it should hold that 4.16 for a while. Okay, and it seems to be, so we're going to kick the smoke machine back on, and then we wait. The ball on the flow gauge is almost at the bottom. It's going to hit the bottom. We're going to go underneath and see if we can't identify a restriction. So this should be the fresh air side of the vent valve. So I'm going to open it now. So it's been closed. Now it's open. Now the smoke. Yeah, the smoke should be plummeting out of this hose at this point. Just holding my finger over here for a second. Can you guys see where you're at? Okay. Yeah, it does have pressure. Very, very little, but yeah, the smoke should be ripping right out of this now. Whew, I smell the gas. It smells old. Boy, you guys smell that? That's funny, yeah, still no, it takes it a second, it builds pressure. You can hear it. Like that. So that's kind of interesting. Let's check. That's where it goes into the canister. Let's check it coming out of the tank, perhaps. That's easier to get to 4 hours later. This thing's a mother lover to unhook. This is the tube going from the canister to the tank. And I see we got good smoke coming out of it. I just had to turn the smoke machine back on. Let it build up some pressure here, but it seems to purge out of this quite quickly. Let me grab my scan tool here. We've got some actual data. So the canister vent valve right now is closed. Of course, we've still got that hose out of the frame. And then I'm just holding my thumb over the other end. I want to see how quickly the canister itself can just purge out this end of it. I'm going to release my thumb in 3, 2. So that goes right back immediately out of this side of the canister. So that tells us some stuff. That tells us that either the canister itself is plugged from the vent valve out. This side of it seems to be okay. Or the vent valve itself has a restriction built into it. Ay. The problem is, folks, the problem is I touch that vent valve, the canister's about a 95% chance it's going to break. Let me get my face up in here and have a little closer look for us. Probably going to get a blow nozzle, blow off some of this crud. It's pretty crusty up here. That dirty deed is done. And I did it dirt cheap. So we got some kind of green hose. What kind of hose is that? We should have the purge coming into this thing somewheres, which that must be. So we've got, I don't know what you guys can see. Hold on, let me look at you so you can look at me. So we got a pressure sensor, hose to the tank, the vent valve, hose out of the tank, or hose out of the canister, the fresh air side. What has me concerned is there's a lot of stinking dirt coming out of that baby, so I'm thinking the canister itself is probably swamped with dirt, and then this must be the purge here. I have to kind of tweak that out of the way. Idiots build it so you can't turn the purge solenoid or the vent valve off from it. Come on, you mother. Oh, just someday, Erico, you'll never have to work on a rusty piece of crap. Come on, baby. Good golly, Miss Molly. Got that sucker off there. Oh boy, lots of dirt on that side of the... I can't get the stinking electrical connector off, and I don't want to break it right now. She's rusty, she's crusty. Lots of dirt inside that vent. Of course, the smoke machine is shut off. At any rate, I gotta set the car back down, turn the smoke machine back on again, and then we're gonna see if the restriction, actually, we can just blow through this, I'll tell you. Oh, must be turned on because I can't blow through it at all. Let me shut it off. There, now it's turned back off. Now let's see if we can blow in it. Come here, baby. Yeah, so you can blow right through that, no problem. Therefore, the restriction has to be beyond a shadow of a doubt in the canister. What's up, Miss O?
I got a question.
You look super hot again today, like every freaking day.
Thanks.
What's up? You need to talk to me?
There's a lady on the phone. I got a question for you.
So right now, folks, I don't know if you can tell, but the vent valve is still out, and I'm holding my thumb over the hole, and the smoker is on. We're letting it build pressure. We'll let it get up to 4 point whatever it gets to, 4.3, and theoretically, when I remove my thumb, it should instantaneously lose all pressure, which right now we're just wasting time. We already proved that the vent valve works and that the hose going to it is not plugged. Therefore, the only restriction could be is in the canister itself. But just to prove it to you, we're at 4.18, 420, good even number to stop at. I'll release my finger in 3, 2, released. And it did not drop. Right back to the 3.9. It's going back. She's going slow. Therefore, 100% definitive. This little guy is plugged. And judging from the looks of the truck, she's probably a dirt road driver in its former life. She's crusty, folks. Follow up Friday, folks. Even though today's Tuesday, here's the Nissan. Things got a little bit hectic yesterday. I just took it for a rip. Why did I take it for a rip? Because Jason ended up fixing the thing. And as you can see, we now have a functioning gas gauge with a distance till empty. Now works. And no engine light. And, wait for it. I just tried to run a drive cycle on it this morning here before my 9 o'clocker shows up. And I think we got everything except the O2 sensor, which is not a big deal. Give it just a moment here, folks. I believe even the EVAP ran, which I was pretty happy to see. But oddly enough, the O2 sensor has not run yet. But the good news is that we have no codes. So no codes. Our mill is off. We're down to one monitor, so it could legally get a sticker when he takes it to the place that gives away the stickers. Now, when I took the EVAP canister out, or when Jay took it out, that thing weighed about 50 pounds. It was full to the top of dirt. And then the fuel level sensor was just bad. That was kind of a gimme. That was an easy one. At any rate, folks, I wanted to give you guys a follow-up to let you know where we're at on this. I would have loved to have worked on this myself. However, yesterday we had a couple of no-shows, jerks, and the boys needed some stuff to do. So I fed them some of the work that I was going to do. So Jason took care of this. We took that canister out, gave him a hand doing that, and that thing weighed probably 20 pounds more than the one we put in. Nissan has an update where you change everything. The filler neck, the canister, all the hoses, just everything goes new. I don't know if that is a fix to prevent the canister from sucking in dirt, or if it's just a shotgun approach for their mechanics at the dealer to just, to get it right and not have a customer come back to say, hey, Joe, customer, you need everything. You just, that code, you get everything new. Pressure sensor, canister vent valve, canister, all the hoses, the vent hoses, the fresh air hoses, a filler neck, a gas cap. You need everything. So I guess that's one way to what they call CYA, which means cover your butt. I don't know. I'm not a Nissan guy. And then the fuel level sensor, that was a piece of cake. We were right there. It's just a matter of, unplugging the sending unit, open circuit, short circuit, gas gauge went from empty to full, and, bada bing, bada boom, dropped the tank, took the sending unit out, measured it. It was completely open. The little swiper on the fuel level sensor was gone. So that's that. You didn't get to see the repairs. And also to address another question as far as why were they pulling relays, I don't know. And that's still my question. However, I've driven the truck enough to know so far that I don't know. I don't know why somebody was in there fiddling with relays and fuses, and why it has a new computer, and why they messed with the body module, and why things have been touched. I don't know. But I'm sure at some point, someday, someone will find out. And that's not for us. All I want to find out is what you guys think in that comment section. The questions, the comments, the Insta, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.